Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Thank you for joining us today. Today, we will be speaking about 10 common signs your dog loves you. Please watch the entire video to figure out all the details. And guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click the bell notification. Alright then, let's get started. Have you ever started wondering whether your dog loves you half as much as you love them? You're not the only one wondering if your puppy feels real parental love for you or if it's just thought since you feed them. Aside from daily food and treats, our dogs may not be able to clearly and effectively communicate with us, although there are telltale signs that they love us back. Dogs show human compassion in ways other than cuddles and smiles. A dog may express adoration by leaning against you, wanting to bring you a toy, or carrying your belongings around. Dogs express their feelings in many ways, varying from extremely subtle to completely obvious, making it difficult to distinguish between positive and negative expressions. Just as dogs' body posture can reveal a lot about how they're feeling, tail wagging equals delighted. Teeth baring equals compelled. A dog reacts to or acts around you can reveal a lot. If your dog exhibits these affectionate traits, you can rest easy at night, eventually with your pup by your side, understanding that your four-legged fur baby truly loves you. Are you looking for signs that your dog loves you? So look no further, because they're all right here. Our beloved pets are more forthright with their emotions than our feline counterparts, so they're good at expressing their love for humans. It's worth mentioning that the love languages your pet uses can influence how they express their affection for you. So, while one dog may bring you household objects and toys as a token of their love, others may choose to curl up next to you on the couch. While the most affectionate dog species excel at physical gestures of love and adoration, if your dog withholds, it's far more probable to be a sign of independence than a loss of compassion. Although your dog feels frightened or embarrassed around you, which we're fairly sure they don't, and you can be confident that your best friend loves you just as much as you love them. Here are the 10 most common ways our beloved pets display their love and devotion, from exchanging glances to following you around the home to make it easier. Every dog is distinctive, but if yours does any of the following, take it the assurance that their love goggles are securely fastened when you're engaged. Number 1. Trailing you around wherever you go. Owning a canine buddy in the house is like having a second shadow for some of us, and being accompanied from spot to spot is always a positive sign that our pet is feeling the love. A dog's way of demonstrating they care is to check in on you and follow you everywhere you go. But don't be alarmed if your dog doesn't constantly chase after you when you leave the lounge and go into the kitchen. Some dogs are more self-sufficient than others, so just because they aren't always by your side doesn't mean they don't love you. Also, yes, the TikTok video of a toddler singing Lady Gaga's Paparazzi while a dog accompanies its owner into every room at home comes to mind. But in all honesty, your dog is your biggest fan and will follow you until you fall in love with them, just as in the video. Having followed you about, desiring to be where you are, and inquiring where you are when you aren't with them are all signs that your dog adores you. After all, if they despised you, why would they follow you and want to be with you all the time? Unlikely. Number 2. Sitting on you or leaning against you. Does your dog snuggle up next to you on the couch while reading or watching TV? When you're eating, do they sit at your feet? Do they try to climb into your lap while sitting cross-legged on the floor? One of the numerous ways our pet dogs show their affection for us is by seeking physical connection. According to Sarah Okua, a veterinarian and veterinary consultant for Dog Lab, dogs display their love by rubbing their faces on their owners. It's a typical approach to express love. Your dog marks you as theirs by brushing their face against you, opined Okua. When it comes to physical touch, dogs are similar to humans in that they are reluctant to have to be in relative quarters to someone they do not love or trust. If your canine partner actively seeks to be with you, this is a terrific indication that they feel secure and comfortable in your surroundings. In the same line as trailing you, resting near or next to and against you is a pawsome show of doggy love. Leaning on you or sitting on you indicates dogs trust you, because dogs prefer physical contact with those who make them feel comfortable. Leaning against you or establishing any connection with you demonstrates that you are liked and trusted. Number 3. Licking you. While not everyone enjoys a nice face kiss, a dog's lick is their interpretation of a kiss, and they normally give doggy smooches when they're either delighted to see you or concerned about you. Licking is a common technique for dogs to express their attention and compassion. It's a natural behavior they learned as puppies after being licked by their mothers and littermates. But don't panic if your dog doesn't lick you often. Some dogs don't get as many licks as puppies, and others choose to show their love in other ways. There's a reason why so many dog owners compare licks to kisses. They essentially are. When dogs lick you, they are either delighted to see you, concerned about you, or appreciative of belly massages. Have you ever pretended to be dead by lying down? It may sound strange, but many pet owners do this. If your dog greets you and licks your face, it expresses affection and concern. Conversely, if you walk in and are instantaneously licked, your dog says, "I adore you. I'm so happy you're back." Number 4. Intending to play with you. Dogs, once again, do not squander their time with people they do not want to be with. If your dog appears to want to enjoy more time with you in general, by laying near you, accompanying you about, or now playing with you, call it love. Dogs are amusing animals. One of the motives we appreciate spending quality time with them is because of this. Games of fetching, chasing, or playing wrestling are expressions of adoration and your dog's method of bonding with their beloved companion. Number 5. Tail wagging. Everything revolves around the tail. Similarly, as dogs utilize their tails to impart sentiments about different dogs, assuming the tail is between their legs, they're apprehensive about another canine. On the off chance that their back hair by their tail is standing up, they're undermined, and so forth. The tail can show us a ton about how dogs feel about us. In any chance that your canine is wagging his tail, he's cheerful to see you, be close to you, or partake in the snuggle, playing, or petting. Conventional wisdom lets us know that a wagging tail is the characteristic of a cheerful canine, and I Heart Dogs affirms that it's additionally an indication of love toward a human. Loosened up dogs can effectively sway their tails, and dogs that are loosened up feel quite a bit better about their proprietors. Assuming a canine's muscles are solid and its tail is as yet wagging, it could imply that the person is irritated or enraged, and Dr. Randall is here to back it up. Tail wagging can go one way or the other. Dogs don't necessarily give a snarl or caution when they chew. All they give is a tail sway and an engaged gaze, so make certain to remember that. Number 6. Making eye contact. Does your dog live for very serious eye contact? She cherishes you and can't say as much, so she expresses it with her eyes. Eye contact with dogs makes a further bond than the surface level. That is why eye contact is appropriate during preparing as well. Your dog figures out how to trust and submit to that eye contact. So assuming she returns the motion, her eyeballs are shouting, "I love you." While they can't exactly grin similarly that we people can, many dogs frequently get very close. Pet dogs can cause a commotion, substantially more emphatically than wild dogs. This thoughtful, lovable articulation is remembered to incite care sensations and sustain in their human proprietors, said Greenstein. Assuming your dog frequently pulls their lips back to uncover a wide, excited smile, this is certainly an indication of adoration. You'll probably find that the more you respond by giving them a major, cheerful grin back, the more they'll rehash the way of behaving. Human-to-human eye contact is viewed as something positive. Whenever somebody looks at you straightforwardly, without flinching, you can see they are locked in and keen on what you need to say. Per Vet Street, canines don't see eye contact the same way inside the species. Different dogs could think it is forceful, yet they truly gaze at their number one people to indicate affection and regard. At the point when you can't see the whites of your dog's eyes, it implies they're particularly agreeable in your presence. They utilize their eyebrows and facial muscles to make plenty of contenances. Whether they are cheerful, angry, or unnerved, assuming you observe intently, you will see developments that show how they feel. At the point when they are apprehensive, dogs will quite often turn away or disregard them. Assuming that they are irate, they growl and gaze straight at you. The blissful face is awesome. Dogs gaze straight at you. They grin and draw in you, says Randall. Focus on much more than your dog's tail while searching for indications of affection. As indicated by a new report in Japan, dogs quickly lifted their eyebrows, particularly their left, when they saw their proprietors. So every one of those cute eyebrow squirms you see truly means significantly more. They're your furry friend's approach to saying they are glad to see you. Lifting of the eyebrow is one more indication of adoration for a dog. It implies dogs are attempting to speak with you in a caring manner. It is otherwise called a window to their spirit. Number 7. Sleeping by or with you. Does your dog rest close to you, in bed with you, or in a similar room? This craving to be near you, particularly during a period as defenseless as rest, is a significant indicator of how much your dog loves you. If a puppy feels sufficiently comfortable to lay down with or close to you, they believe that you will have them covered. You might like to utilize one of the most amazing dog cartons to keep your little guy completely safe during the evening, yet assuming you will often allow them to have the free rule of the house. They generally end up in your room, cuddled up next to you. That is a decent sign that they love you. Delicate contacting and snuggling emulate maternal friendship among young doggies and their original dog mothers. These proactive tasks instigate the arrival of the vibrate hormone oxytocin in the two species, said Greenstein. Number 8. Greeting you happily and excitedly. Assuming you get an astounding greeting for each opportunity you get back home, that is some genuine article infatuation. Your dog could try and pee out of uncontainable fervor. You're home. Whether you've been away for 5 minutes or 5 hours, the most amazing aspect of being a doggy parent is having that invigorated face welcome you each time you return. Assuming your dog bounces all over when you return home, begins going around excitedly, is swaying their tail, licking you, or presents to you their favorite toy, these are signs that your puppy loves you and is excited to have you back. Jamie Richardson, a veterinarian and clinical head of staff at Small Door Veterinary, says that simply hearing your name will be sufficient to get a few dogs invigorated. Over the long haul, dogs figure out how to perceive human names. Assuming they hear a friend or family member's name referenced who is absent, they'll get invigorated at the possibility that they could show up, said Richardson. Number 9. Bringing you their favorite toy. Has your puppy welcomed you at the door with the most recent object of their friendship? A delicate toy, a sock, a stick they've recently viewed as outside, or the piece of cardboard they're presently busy annihilating? On the off chance that they have, see yourself as extremely adored to be sure. You have been picked. When a doggo offers you their favorite toy, or everything being equal, any toy, it's a seriously cherishing motion. It implies you're adequate to play with, to invest energy with. The back and forth with a rope toy is a definitive indication of fondness, so you ought to feel fortunate to be picked. If your dog truly adores you, they will frequently bring their favorite toy. While you might not be interested in puppy's shabby toy that has been drooled everywhere, when you accept their present, you accept their adoration. Goodness, however, a word of caution. They'll most likely be requesting it back a couple of moments later. Number 10. Stealing your clothes and carrying them around. It's not only your character your doggo cherishes, it's additionally your fragrance. You might notice and believe it's peculiar that your dog has been stealing your clothing and carrying it around the house. It could be socks, clothing, or any piece of clothing you often wear. It's not actually suitable behavior, yet there is a blamelessness. Your doggo needs to be near you, and if they can't do that genuinely, they might want to smell you every minute of every day. On the off chance that needing to hold your stinky socks in their mouth isn't genuine affection, well, we don't know what is. Disappointing as it might be, there's a valid justification that your dog is continually wandering around the house with your socks, shoes, or scarf stuffed into their mouth. These things are shrouded in your aroma. While it's presumably not the behavior you need to empower, more often than not, your dog isn't gathering up your possessions to be shrewd, yet rather because the smell causes them to feel closer to you. Instead of reprimanding them, which feels like a dismissal to them, attempt delicately diverting their consideration towards one of the most mind-blowing dog bite toys to assist them with learning the behavior you expect of them. Well, that's all we have today. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.